If we had to build an all-star roster with only one room per team across the NFL, what would those rosters look like? We're going to find out here today on Locked On NFL Scouting.
You are Locked On NFL Scouting with the Draft Dudes, your daily podcast for NFL and college football scouting. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's better than this? It's guys being dudes here on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast. We're the Draft Dudes. I'm Joe Marino from Locked On Bills. He's Kyle Crabbs from Locked On Dolphins. And we are your NFL experts here with you daily to talk team building across the league on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast with the Draft Dudes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Want to issue a big thank you, shout out, and welcome to our everydayers. Those of you who never miss a single episode, we appreciate y'all being here very, very much.
Joe, happy Wednesday. It's good to be back. Glad to see you got out of the 19th century with your Wi-Fi connection there at the I did have a few of my Discord members who said, I'm originally from Western New York, and like the hotel Wi-Fi situation there is kind of notoriously bad at all spots. Have you considered like the Starlink?
Well, I've been in this hotel. This is the fourth year I've stayed here, and this is the first year I've had a problem. So,
interesting.
Yeah, maybe I've expressed some displeasure with the front desk. So
Management.
Hopefully it's a little better. But
let me bring your own router up.
Yeah, sure.
Put me on the employee Wi-Fi, right? We got content to create.
I know, man. People need the content. Exactly.
I need to know how cold it is in that hotel room because you're wearing a fully zippered up, hooded long sleeve.
God, Crabbs, you know what you do when you get into a hotel room. You crank down that temperature all the way down. So we're making some choices here, but it's chilly. It's chilly. I got it set at 68.
I'm paying a flat rate for electricity and the room and board all in one.
Yeah,
it doesn't go up. Price doesn't go up the colder I make it. So yeah, I'm gonna crank it all
especially when your Wi-Fi is no good.
Right, and get your money's worth. All right, well let's give the people their money's worth here on the program today. This is the other side of the coin from Monday, and Monday was if we had to build the worst possible roster out of position rooms across the NFL, but you could only use a team once, what would that roster look like? So you had to have some strategy on like this might be the worst roster by far in the NFL at one position room, but you might feel that team has three position rooms that are in consideration, and there might not be really good options for some of the other ones. So like, how do you juggle? And I think we overlapped on 7 of the 10 was what we ended up with. I think we will have more variants. And I will say, maybe this is just like the training camp hopium version of Kyle. I had a lot more fun putting together the good version of the team than the bad version.
Of course.
I think my team would kick some serious butt.
Yeah, I got a few. This would be a pretty good team as well if mine was a real one. So
with that in mind,
let's do it.
We're going to do quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, all of the offensive line, defensive tackles, edge, linebacker, cornerback, safety. So we have 5 position rooms per side of the ball. We're going to do skill players first. We're going to start with quarterbacks, and I'm picking the room that's got the guy who's got the MVP trophy from last year. I'm picking the Bills quarterback room.
I am as well. And I think you can make a case that the Ravens and the Chiefs have better quarterback depth, but to me, this has to be about the guy that's first. And I mean, I'm picking Josh, right? I got to pick Josh. We did the conversation last week about who we had as the number 1 player in the league. Like, if that's true for both of us, then that should be the pick. So,
right.
We can unite over Josh Allen here.
And I agree with you. Like, this is the one position room I really didn't give a lot of consideration to the depth. But also it was how Josh avoided negative plays last year. What was the stat? Is the lowest percentage of
the lowest percentage of snaps in NFL history that were a sack, interception, or fumble. 4.2%. It's never been. That's the best ever.
Astronomical number.
Yeah. So you can make dynamic plays and eliminate negative ones. That's a tough deal for opponents.
So I kind of figured that would be the case. Let's go to running backs. I'm going to let you go first. Kick things off here.
All right. So running back's tough for me because
you hate running backs.
No, man. I love running backs. It's James
You just
Cook. You
don't.
see this vision in the hole this guy has, man? Mid-zone. Are you kidding me?
Don't talk him up too much. He's going to add another $1 million to his asking price.
I know. It doesn't take much to get another $1 million. Be 21, 22 before you know what, from 15. Now it's 20. Well, the position, the team that I wanted to use several times. But this is where they're coming. It's the Lions. I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. I think Jahmyr Gibbs has a case to be the most dynamic individual weapon that's a running back in the league, with what he can do as a runner and a receiver, the speed. Like, he just moves different than everyone else in the league. And so I want that. But then I also get David Montgomery, who is like the dream complementary player to him to give the downhill ability. I mean, Sonic and Knuckles. And yes, I have watched all 3 of the Sonic movies. It's the perfect name for the pair, right? I mean, it really, really fits. So give me Sonic and Knuckles. I wanted to use the Lions for safety, but I had to use them for running back.
I'm a little pissed off because I thought this was going to be a unique pull for me. I also have the Lions here. And it's like, what if you supercharged prime Alvin Kamara?
It's Jahmyr Gibbs.
That's Jahmyr Gibbs.
But more explosive.
Right. So, yeah, the thunder and lightning element of those two was a no-brainer for me as well, as far as being on the short list. And then it's the strategy of the rest of it that prompted me to go to Detroit. Now, wide receivers, how many teams were on your list for wide receiver? How many teams did you consider?
3.
Would you care to disclose those 3 teams?
In no particular order.
Correct. In no particular, and I'm not going to tell you whether you should put the team you actually picked first or not.
I'm going to go in alphabetical order.
Oh, that's smart. That's real smart.
It's smart if I can correctly deliver them in alphabetical order. You know, that'd be real. This would be rough.
Also a good point.
Okay, so Bengals, Eagles, Vikings were the 3 teams that I considered.
We're off to a good start because I have the Bengals as my selection, where Chase obviously had the season that he did last year. They make the decision to run it back with T. Higgins. Thank goodness. Now, their commitment level there, despite what the contract terms are not long, but that doesn't matter for this exercise. It's
just want the players, yeah.
Just want the players. Joe, this was the only wide receiver room that we graded where both of the top 2 players were graded as roster cornerstones. And
which is exactly why I picked the Bengals.
Okay, so
yeah.
Great. This is great.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. We do this project. What's the point of doing the project if we're not going to use it, right? Like, I did the same thing you did. I'm looking at our database, and I'm looking at the colors that exist that represent the different buckets, and I'm like, well, this is the only team with 2 franchise cornerstones at wide receiver. It has to be the choice. And I don't really have another spot to use the Bengals. So
right.
Felt like a good spot. Where the Eagles, yeah, there's a couple spots I wanted to use the Eagles. And you'll have to just listen to the rest of the show if you find out if I use the Vikings.
Tight end.
Ravens.
I am undeterred by the Isaiah Likely bone fracture. Sounds like he's undergoing surgery ASAP for the dude who's the last rep of one-on-ones yesterday at practice.
I think he should sit out week 1, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Come back week 2.
Don't do that. Be ready to go. But Andrews, for all of the flack that Andrews got, because rightfully there were missed opportunities at the end of the season last year that really hurt. What, he had like a career high in receiving touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
Like,
and his separation metrics are off the charts still. He can still go, man.
Do you realize how much time he spends unattached to the formation?
Yes.
Like his like slot and like separated from the core. Like, people just assume, I guess, like you have an F and a Y, and Likely you presume would be the guy who plays unattached, but Andrews is unattached just as frequently. I think, if not maybe a little more, as far as like a percentage of his snaps on passing downs. It's a really lethal pairing. They had the best 12 personnel in the NFL from an EPA perspective over the last 20 years last year.
Is that right? Wow.
Yes. And I think there was only one team that was within like 50%. Like, they were off the charts good as far as their 12 personnel package. And it's an all-time mismatch group. And I'm going to go ahead and run to the podium there with you and give the Ravens the call.
So we go 4 for 4 to start this?
4
all right.
With we did not have any collaboration. We didn't talk about this at all. So we're flying blind, and we're 4 for 4. I've got a pretty good feeling we're going to be 5 for 5, but we'll find out on the other side of the break. So make sure you guys stick with us.
This episode is presented by Yahoo Fantasy. Fantasy football is back. Fire up the group chat, get your draft board ready, and buckle up for a season filled with breakouts, busts, and all the overreactions that we live for. It's all going down on Yahoo Fantasy. This year, like every year, I'm playing on Yahoo Fantasy, and you should too, whether it's your first ever league or a veteran that is in your 1 millionth league. I've been using Yahoo Fantasy for years, and I love how smooth the draft day experience is. It's easy to set up. The mobile app is awesome, and the smack talk just hits a little different on those message boards. To celebrate 28 years of fantasy greatness, Yahoo Fantasy is dropping 28 big new features over 28 days, giving you more ways to play, more ways to draft, and more ways to win. It's all going to begin on August 4th. So stay tuned and get started by creating or joining a Yahoo Fantasy Football League at yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. That's yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. And let's make this fantasy season the best one yet.
All right. Offensive line. I picked the Philadelphia Eagles.
Me too.
Yeah. It's I think comfortably the best tackle tandem in the league with Mailata and Lane Johnson.
Yeah, that's the best.
Landon Dickerson, if you take best combination and pairing of two interior guys, I think Juergens and Dickerson's probably a top 5 like pairing of like 2 or 3 interior players.
Did you feel the Chiefs fans start to boil right there? Thinking that you were going to say it was the best when they have Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey? I felt it.
Maybe.
Yeah, I felt that.
Creed Humphrey, probably the best. I would say Creed Humphrey is the best center in football because of how multiple he is. I think he can play with power, and he could do some of what Ragnall did before he retired, right? Like the power stuff, but he also has the athleticism.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the really dynamic centers are guys that are either road graders or they are like really athletic. You want to keep them uncovered so they can get up and work in space.
Dude, it's the best center tackle combination in the league. And then they also have Landon Dickerson. Okay.
Right.
And then what are we really concerned about right guard where, I mean, Stoutland's going to have somebody ready to go, whether that's Steen or that's Kenyon Green or somebody else, and they have to play between Juergens and Lane Johnson. Okay. And Lane Johnson, the Eagles metrics, the splits with and without him on the field are insane.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely insane. So I knew the Eagles were going to have a spot. It was just going to be a matter of whether it was O-line or receiver. And O-line feels like a great spot to put him. I think it's the best in the league.
Yeah. Also under consideration for me was the Bucs. Tristan Wirfs' health assumed in that conversation. Atlanta and Minnesota.
Good choices.
So we're 5 for 5 on offense. No fun. I think we're going to split here. Defensive tackle. The floor is yours. Who you got?
All right, D tackle. I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I get Cam Hayward, who is ageless, right? Unbelievable. I get 2 young studs in Keanu Benton and Derek Harmon.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm swooning over that. And they have other players that, depth guys. Was Loudermilk is one of their guys. They have other developing depth players, but Benton, Harmon, and Hayward and Daniel Akwale, I think, is a nice little depth player that they were able to add from New England. I think they're loaded, and that was. I feel like based on the way you responded there, that we might be in lockstep here. But this was a.
You're not.
You got something different.
We are different. I went off the board here.
Wait, hold on. You already used Baltimore, so it can't be Baltimore.
Yep. Baltimore would be a great call out with their combo of Travis Jones and Nnamdi Madubuike, though.
I could see you loving Dexter Lawrence as a singular piece, and they have nice pieces with him.
Okay.
I don't know that you love Philly enough outside of Jalen.
I already used
Philly. You can't use them. Where are you going to go here, Kyle Crabbs? I know that you have this love for Zach Allen, and you could say Zach Allen, DJ Jones, Malcolm Roach. All right, tell us who it is.
None of the teams that you mentioned.
Really?
Yeah. The LA Rams.
Oh, you like all the young guys. Okay, that's fun.
Puna
Kobe
Ford.
Yeah.
Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk, and then they add Puna Ford in free agency.
It's a good call. It's a good
Holy
call.
cow, man. Like, you want to have penetration, like inside shade on offensive tackles and like potential 3 techs and 4 eyes for Kobe Turner and Fisk. And then you add Puna as somebody who can play out there, but also has the density and the mass if you want him playing in the A gaps. And if you want him being a bump on a log and a bog in the middle of the lake type of A gap player, or if you want him to be a penetration style A gap player, I think he can, like, that trio up front. Somehow they lost Bobby Brown and got better with their top 3 interior defensive linemen. Right. And I was, as I'm sitting here looking at it, I'm like, I got to go Rams. So I went Rams.
I respect it. Good one to deviate from there. That's a good one. There's a lot of good contenders there.
So
why don't you like Cam Hayward? What's wrong there?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
The edge group. This is, I guess, what, my turn to reveal first.
Okay.
Any guesses? All right. Don't give me any guesses. Did you do the same thing you did at wide receiver?
What do you mean? Did I do the same thing?
We have a room with 2 cornerstone players.
I'm pretty sure we have these both as cornerstone players. Yeah, this was an easy one for me.
Houston Texans.
Yes.
So Danielle Hunter, who gets the pay raise this offseason. Will Anderson, emerging young stud top draft choice. And your third's Danico Autry. Like, come on, dude. This has been a brand Danico Autry program for years. So that collection, plus then they have Darrell Taylor as the 4. But you could just keep going and feel good about these guys being dogs that know how to hunt. So,
and is he hurt? Derek Barnett? I mean, he's on the team too. Like, because I remember when we had this Texans conversation, I said this is the best 1 through 5 defensive end group in the league.
He opened camp on PUP.
Okay, and like I think he's kind of found himself in that with that team, kind of in a sub role. I think he's been really good. So, I mean, obviously the story is Anderson and Hunter, and then, of course, Danico Autry and Darrell Taylor. But don't sleep on Derek Bernard as your 5th defensive end, man. I thought there's other good groups, but this one's depth on top of the, having the 2 franchise cornerstones. To me, this made it an obvious choice.
Yeah, I gave some consideration to Minnesota with Dallas Turner's high draft choice with Van Ginkel, who got the 1-year extension, and then Jonathan Grenard. I gave consideration to Denver with Benito, Jonathan Cooper, and John Franklin Myers as the top 4 guys.
Pittsburgh.
I maybe could have argued that Zach Allen could go in that bucket for where he lines up sometimes, but I didn't want to get in that can of worms. Pittsburgh with Watt, Alex Highsmith. Miami with, assuming health, Chop Robinson, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips as the 1 through 3. There's a really deep group. There's a lot of options here. And this time next year, depending on what happens with Baltimore's free agent, like, do they bring back Odafe Owe on a contract year?
I bet you they don't.
He's probably going to play himself out with how he played.
Yeah.
And I know he bulked up this offseason, but then they got Mike Green. They got Tavius Robinson. Like, they got some depth to go with top names too.
Yeah. They're going to pay Linderbaum and Hamilton. We've seen the Ravens. We know how they operate. They're not bringing back Owe.
And like Travis Jones is an expiring contract. What would you pay Travis Jones in free agency?
Oh, that's a great question. That's a complicated one too.
It is. Maybe we don't do it now, but like that's the kind of one that like I've sat there and be like, they should pay him, but they're already paying Matabweek like the big money.
I know.
And they need to do. They've got a lot of names they're working on. Likely, they're working on Hamilton. They're working on Linderbaum, and they declined the 5th-year option for Linderbaum, so that one's got to get done. They're working on a new deal for Lamar Jackson. It's a great problem to have, but it's like, are you going to pay your second defensive tackle $20+ million per year?
Well, I think it's 20. I think that's where you start the conversation, right?
Start the conversation, yeah.
Good problems to have. Good problems to have. They'll draft 18 more players next year and keep the train going, right?
Hey, the good news is we had that little sidebar. We're still on time because we got O-line and D-line in segment 2, which is what was scheduled. So we got linebackers, corners, and safeties to finish.
And I have some interesting selections on teams that might not be very good. So we'll see how we stack up here on that. Folks, be sure to stick with us. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, into a quick, energizing shot. Whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, this one's a hole-in-one for your golf game. Let's be honest, some days on the golf course or off it, you just need that extra boost to stay sharp and energized. And I love playing golf. My favorite golf memory was the first time I broke 100. It was Thanksgiving Day 2014. It was closing hole, was a par 5. I needed a bogey or better. I hit my drive, I hit my approach. I'm 120 yards away, and I just need to go on and 2-putt or on and 3-putt to break 100. I did exactly that, and I will never forget it. And golf is all about good times and good people and good flavors, of course. The grape, ginger, lime flavor gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the Bev cart. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that's the number 5hourenergy.com. You can use my promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting up with friends, trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost that you need to power through. Order transfusion-flavored 5-Hour Energy shots today.
You watch Happy Gilmore 2 yet?
I haven't. I want to, but I feel like I should watch it with my wife, and I'm away for a week, so we talked about it. Yeah, we talked about this the other day, and sometime within the next 1 to 24 weeks, we're going to try to watch it. We got little kids, man.
Starts.
Dude, you know how this goes? Like, you get your kids to sleep, and then it's like, all right, are we really going to get into something? We're both tired. We're both waking up early. Are we really going to push play on this movie? So if the stars align and the kids go to sleep early, or we only have one for the night, we can maybe pull it off. But did you watch it? Anyways, did you watch it?
I did. Yeah.
What are we thinking?
It pulls on the nostalgia. It's a good, like, you're not expecting like a cinematic masterpiece by any means. It's the sequel to Happy Gilmore. It's good.
Do you know what I did do though? You probably don't. Do you ever watch Bryson DeChambeau's golf videos where he partners with somebody and tries to break 50?
No.
I watched, it was Adam Sandler and Bryson DeChambeau. They play like a regular golf course and try to break 50, which you have to eagle every par 5. You have to birdie all the rest of the holes. And then if you can't eagle a par 5, then you have to eagle, a par 4, which when you're Bryson DeChambeau and you can drive to the green on regular holes, it can be done. Anyways, they've never done it. I'm not going to spoil it, but I watched over an hour of that. So I'm going to watch it at some point. Good story. You want me to write that down for you just in case you forget it? Yeah,
just internalize it. The linebackers, the floor is yours.
Kyle, I went with the Jets. Man. I love this pair of Quincy Williams and Jahmyr Sherwood. I think they can both really play in coverage and play in space. They're two good matchup style backers. I love the pair. I love how Jahmyr Sherwood has come along to complement Quincy Williams. I think it's as good of a 1-2 as there is out there. And I think we have a couple of other teams that have 2 quality starters. But of those, this felt like the group that I like the most because I really value that range and ability to play in space.
I'm pissed off again.
Thought it was going to be a thing.
I thought it was going to be a thing to pick the Jets, and Joe picked the Jets as well and stole my thunder in the process, just like he did at running back. Yeah, and it's the Sherwood emergence. Like Quincy Williams, we've known Quincy Williams since he came to New York, and now they have 2 of that kind of play.
Yeah,
that's just Energizer bunnies that might not be the densest linebackers. Like nobody's going to confuse these guys for Jelani Tavai, but they'll smack the taste out of your mouth when they hit you too. Like they're physical, violent strikers too. So I am with you. I picked the Jets here, which means it's going to come down to safety, to whether or not we have the same amount different or less different. Because right now our only difference is defensive tackle, where you went Steelers.
Yeah.
And I went Rams, and I have Steelers at corner. So I know we're different at corner.
Okay, I was wondering where you were going with that. I was like, well, we have 2 more teams. You went Steelers at corner.
I went. So,
okay.
Yeah, They got the young guy in Joey Porter Jr. They got Darius Slay. They have Jalen Ramsey. I think Ramsey, as long as he wants to, and you move him around and he's happy with doing that, like, I think he can be kind of that amoeba type. He's outside, he's at safety, he's at nickel, and I think that it should not be a problem to get those three players on the field at the same time. And then obviously Beanie Bishop's a promising young player who was going to be the nickel. So I look at the 1 through 4 at corner here, and I feel really good about what they have to say, hey, they've got youth, they've got established talent, they've got savvy vets, they've got position multiplicity with some of these guys. I think it checks a lot of boxes.
Well, I use the Steelers for defensive tackles, so I couldn't use them here, although I think they're a great choice. I think if we didn't have restrictions, I would probably side with you, but we have restrictions. So I had to go to another AFC East team and pick the Patriots, man. I love this duo of Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis, and then Marcus Jones in the slot, and then they have Alex Austin as a depth player, who I think is give me a nice player for them, in kind of a dime role maybe from time to time. But with Gonzalez and Davis, obviously you're concerned about health with both of them, but I didn't really think too much about health with this process. It was more about the skill sets and what I thought of them. Those guys, I think, are really versatile with what they can do. I think Gonzalez has shown his ball skills, and you predicted him to have 5 interceptions this year.
I did.
They both tackle. They're both long and athletic. I mean, that was the pair that I gravitated towards, although I think the Steelers are a great answer as well.
I also considered Denver with
I did
Surtain,
too. Yeah.
Riley Moss and Jahdae Barron.
Houston.
And Houston, where that 1-2 punch. And would you include Petrie in that as the nickel?
Yeah. And if he's not the nickel, then it's CJ Gardner-Johnson. Like, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Thought about them, but I had to use Houston for D end, right? Like, had to.
Yeah. And then I didn't use Denver at corner because I used them at safety. Where I have Brandon Jones, Talanoa Hufanga. Jones, much, much, much better player than he was the year prior when he was coming off of a 22 injury. I think he's done a really nice job working his way back. He's always been a high football IQ guy. And then they end up landing Hufanga as like this monster striker to pair with that. Obviously, if there's not position limitations, you're taking Detroit with Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. And that would be a no-brainer for me. I thought New Orleans would have been in consideration had Ty Matthew not retired. So it got it through a curveball in that regard, where I think that would have been a good call out too. So the field kind of got whittled on me late, and I kind of made peace with, hey, Hufanga, if he's healthy, is a big-time impact player. Brandon Jones, we've got a year of proof of concept in the system. So I went with Denver there.
I went with the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, it's a good choice here. Thompson's a really underrated player, isn't he?
He sure is. I love him as one of the options, but Budda Baker, man. I mean, you watch a lot of all 22 tape across the league. I think Baker's different than everyone else, man. The way that he enforces things, the way he processes, the way he triggers, it's just different. And there's a motor there. Like, if you love competitive toughness and demeanor and temperament, dude, like, he is unmatched in the NFL. So yeah, I think they're great as a pair, but obviously Baker to me is a story, and I think they complement each other extremely well. And then you get Dadrian Taylor-Demerson, who I think we were both pretty big fans of coming out as kind of the third player. I think it's a nice trio there. And so maybe some people are surprised that I picked Arizona, but I think with needing the Lions for the running back spot, this is where I landed. So Budda Baker for life, man.
We are also a Ardarius Washington injury away from Baltimore being just because I get Malachi Starks is the 2. Like this time next year, they'll have a really good argument, I think. But Washington being out and then Starks as a rookie was a bridge too far for me to give them consideration, given that they had opportunities at tight end to be
Yeah.
a lock
That's
stock
the thing. You had to use him for tight end, right? There's other safety
So
tandems.
if you were going to pick a different team as we get ready to get out of here, if you're going to pick a different team at tight end, because we're very quickly like run the card in Baltimore at tight end.
Yeah.
Do you just go with do you treat it like quarterback in that case? Because Baltimore's like that uniquely two-pronged approach that's so dominant.
Let me also, can I shout out the Packers? I thought about at safety as well. Yeah. And I think that gets you to George Kittle probably with San Francisco, right? If you want to go a different tight end, I mean, you get Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Hawkinson and Oliver with the Vikings, a heck of a pair.
Yeah, I think that's probably, unless you're gonna completely buy all of the Colston Loveland stock before you see what it looks like, right? It sounds like he's having a great start to camp. But that's one of those few teams that we had 2 sufficient level starter plus projections with Kmet and Loveland as a top 10 pick.
Or like Trey McBride as an individual piece. And, I think we both like Tip Ryman as well. We just got to learn more there. But
yeah.
the pair that's the story with Baltimore. You get them both.
Yeah. And a healthy, likely, hopefully we see it all year, is a potential to leap into quality starter type of bucket for him based off of what he's been. So that's the super teams. Joe and I are different on 3 out of 10, just like we were on offense or on the bad side of things. So it's kind of fun to know, like, you must have had good process if there's that much overlap and the strategy makes sense. We have takes on Friday with Joe away and just kind of conflicting schedules. We're going 3 this week, and then we're going to be back full bore the following week as the preseason games really kick off. So, Joe, you're going to solicit takes when?
Thursday.
So keep an eye out for it. Yeah. Give us your hot takes. We react to your takes on takes. That's the whole deal. Kyle Crabbs, Joe Marino, Locked On NFL Scouting. It is in the books for the day. We'll come back and talk to y'all again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.